In?
Oh, you do it before? How do you do it before? Oh, the lights changed. It's pretty light. Don't worry about pinning it. Let me mess with the light.
You have it on FaceTime camera.
Like that better? Too dark. It's too dark. Yeah, it's gotta stay like that. Place to be. You say never be, but all the things that you see slowly fade away. Almost like a revolution from my
All right. Well, it looks like it's showtime. Well, good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a fun day Sunday. Thanks for joining us today. My name's Sean. This is Kirsten. Of course, you already know all that stuff. I'm going to get started today by bringing our feet a little wider than hip width apart. I like to take your heels so they're outside of the toes. If you look down at your feet, you see that the heels are a little wider than them. Let's separate your toes and then lift them off the mat and then gently let them lower down onto the mat. And take your hands out beside the body, opening the palms to face front. And then continue to rotate so the palms go to the sides or outsides of the body, and then bring your hands up shoulder height. And then use your fingers here. Let's separate them fingers widely and then use them to pull away from the center line, your arms. Let's take your chin and draw it into the head, and then make length all the way from the heels of your body all the way up to the top of your head. Take a big inhale and bring the hands to the sky. And then pull your butt back, fold down, and walk your hands out in front of you. Create a little bit of a opposing action here. I'd like your fingers to walk in one direction, while you work to pull your hips back in the opposite direction. Now, instead of letting your head fall off your body, let's pull the back of the head up and then try to find length through your spine, the upper spine, the thoracic spine. It means as much length as you can there. Widen through the shoulders, walk your fingers out to the sides of your mat. On your next breath, step your feet backwards, come into plank pose. Let's hang out here and make sure we're not really hanging out here, right? So let's pull the back of the head up so we're elevating, we're activating the muscles on the posterior part of the neck. Let's make sure we're not craning the neck either, which means we're not taking the chin and looking forward. Our gaze is straight down, just about fingertip level. As you pull your hips up and back, inhale. And as you exhale, drive your heels to the earth. And then push back up onto the toes.
Hello.
Hello.
And then drive back down.
I just want you to know I'm linked in on Saturday's link.
You are?
Yeah, I didn't find one for today.
Oh, that's so weird.
And there's nobody else. It doesn't seem to be anyone else here.
Well, I know Val couldn't be here, and Anne's usually late, but
I just checked because I took a chance on today's. Just a minute.
There's Linda.
oh, there's Linda.
Okay. Hi, Lindy.
Hey guys.
Okay,
Sorry.
all good. I'll shut up now.
Okay.
Okay.
What were you saying?
No, because I didn't get today's link. I'm using yesterday, so I don't know. It's all good. Okay, I'm being quiet now. You're muting too.
Okay, I'm getting organized. Start.
All right. I lost train. Okay, sorry. Yeah, we're in a down dog position. So let's just come back to starting since everyone's joined in. As we begin our class today, again, let's bring our feet to a position where the heels are wider out than the toes. So our toes are angling in today. Let's take the palms as you open the face forward. Continue to rotate so the palms then face outside of the body. And as you inhale, bring the hands all the way up to the sky. As you keep the hands reaching to the sky, let's pull our butt back. Try to get a situation where the knees of our body aren't pulling back as our ass pulls back. I want you to keep relatively straight through the legs, just a micro bend in the knees, but your butt is actually pulling back. You're going to feel more length and more activation in the hamstrings of your body. Now, as you release this breath, let it full down. And then let's pull your hips backwards. I want to create a situation where you almost feel like you're going to topple backwards. You're not going to, though. You're going to have nice control over this. And as you work, as your endeavor now is to pull back through the hips, you feel a little tension, maybe a little bit of vibration in those hamstrings. I'd like you to walk your fingers forward. This is a little bit of opening of the thoracic or spine or our upper body. In the back, you should feel a nice elongation in the muscles. If your head has fallen off because of gravity's pull, let's pull up with the back of the head so we have an activation of the muscles all along that spine of yours. Enjoy that lengthening sensation. And then let's walk your hands back in towards your body ever so slightly and step your feet back into plank pose. Pull your hips up and back to down dog. As we work to open up, may welcome Linda and Sue and anyone else that's joined us since I've gone into down dog. I can't see forward, but I know you're probably there. As you drive your heels towards the earth, let's push them down and hold in that downward push. And as you maintain that drive down of the heels, you feel nice lengthening through the calves, hopefully. I'd like you to imagine a string pulled on or tied onto your tailbone. And I'd like you to pull that string skyward. This should draw your chest a little closer in towards the legs, a little more rotation for the shoulders. When those muscles start to work, you feel a little burning sensation. That's all right. If you need to take a break, you can always do that, of course. Let's come back to plank. Gently lower the knees. Step your hands back underneath your shoulders. Let's check in with our elbows ever so quickly. Now I want you to rotate them in so your arms lock out at the elbow joints, and then release that so the elbows have a micro break in them. You're gonna keep your toes tucked. You're gonna let your head fall. And that string we had tied to our tailbone, you're gonna bring it up to the center spine. And then you use it to pull that center spine towards the sky. And so you inhale, try to pull a little higher. And as you exhale, the same, try to pull a little higher. And then let's reverse that. It's like a proud chest time. We're gonna push the chest towards the earth. Try to roll your tailbone towards the sky. And then without looking up, let's pull the back of your head upwards. Those muscles of the neck, cervical spine, as it's also known, active and working. Let's hollow out your belly. Let's pull your belly button up and in. You should feel kind of that structure in and around your tummy, kind of being very active right now. And then let's reverse. Let the head fall. Same thing we just did prior. Imaginary string pulling spine, center spine to the sky as the head kind of finds its way more towards the earth. Tailbone tucking under this time. And then reverse. Pulling the back of the head up, hollowing out the belly. Feel those abdominal muscles working actively. That's your transverse abdominis. That creates that hollowing sensation.
I didn't know that.
Yes. It's an important muscle. It's kind of like our weight belly band, right? It's the one that kind of keeps it all together. Now, come back to a neutral spine. Elevate the knees up off the earth. Pull your hips up into the sky. This is the little narrow stance of down dog. It's going to allow us to transition by taking your right foot, stepping it up and towards the hands, doing the same with the left. And then turning your heels out so they're wider apart than the toes. And then letting the hips pull back. So this is not the knees pushing the hips. This is the hips actually pulling back. So you can feel a nice lengthening to the hamstrings and a more focus of weight to the heels. So almost feel like your toes want to drift off your mat. Just keep pulling back till you get that. Now, if this is too intense for your lower back, it could indicate that you have some issues relative to that area. So I want you just to find that spot where you feel the release of the hamstrings without any type of pressure in that low back. Now, we're going to work on the upper spine a little bit here. I'd like you to walk your fingers forward. We're doing this earlier, of course. And I want you to try to focus lengthening the spine, the thoracic or upper spine. Take the back of the head, lift it up. You're going to feel muscles, hopefully, along that upper back, starting to be more active. Trembling's okay. That's just a sign that the body's signifying change. And change is good relative to this. Now, while you work to pull back through the hips and keep the weight to the heels, let's bring the hands together underneath your body and turn fingers in so that the fingertips touch, and make it so that there's like a ball or watermelon or grapefruit, probably a better example, in the hands, and you're kind of making a cup with that, with the fingertips pressing and the thumb pressing. Now, keeping the hips pulled back, let's start to raise the hands and unhinge through the hips. Come up to a folded position where we have a high degree of bend through the ankles, of the hips. And I like to try to pull back a little deeper if you can. As you reach forward the arms, press the fingertips together. Now, raise the arms a little higher. Take a big inhale, exhale, fold all the way down, step back plank. All right, now, back of head, pull it up. Take your knees and float them just above the surface of your mat. Some of us may have restriction in our hips and knees, but I want you to try to find your best spot of this. It's important to get them as close to the mat for this exercise to be relatively effective. Now, while you keep your knees floating, straight back, pull your hips. So we're putting a high degree of bend in the knees. We're going to have nice lengthening through those quadricep muscles. We're going to be very active here. Now, hollow out your belly. Come back to plank and do it again. Come back to plank. So you notice your knees elevate up off the earth as you come to plank. Lower them down first, pull the hips back second, and continue to do this for a few more repetitions. Kirsten's off to the races. You can be going as fast as her. You can go at your own pace. This is the kind of discovery of what you have today and the flexibility, knees and hips. Now come back to plank. Pull up and back to down dog. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Extend to a flat back. Fold back down. Let's bend both knees and lower that booty. Let's bring the palms onto the shin. Extend to a flat back. As you push the palms into the shin, extend the spine and start to unhinge through the hips. So you're able to see more forward now. We're not looking directly down at the mat. Now keep the hips low. Just let the hands slide by unhinging through the hips. Let's take your hands out beside the body, arms up, shoulder height. Oh, there's my lovely. Let's pull wide the arms with the fingers. Sweep the hands forward. Imagine that grapefruit is between the hands. Bring the fingertips to touch as the thumbs and push both together and then pull the shoulders backwards. Let's take the back of the head, pull it inward, and then raise the arms. And then stand tall and fold all the way forward and walk out plank. All right. So our body is basically comprised of two things relative to movement. As you pull your hips up and back to down dog, let me explain. Bones are like levers, and muscles are the things that move the levers. So you can tell when your body has a deficiency or imbalance, come back to plank because the lever doesn't move effectively. Means there's a muscle imbalance generally. Now, lower the knees to hover. Same exercise we did before. Pull the hips back. Come back to plank. Pull up and back down dog. Push to the toes. Drive the heels to the earth. Come back to plank. A lot of the exercises, in fact, all of the exercises I like to do are to work on improving the effectiveness of the muscles as they operate the levers of your body. Pull the hips back. Try to get a little more depth in that. Pull back, come back to plank. Pull your hips up and back to down dog. Extend the spine and pull the back of the head up in this down dog position. Drive the heels to the earth. Push up to the toes. Come back to your plank pose. Did anyone notice how that rhymed? I thought that was pretty good. Now pull the back of the head up. Lower the knees just to hover. This is the last time through this exercise. Pull your hips directly back, all the way back, as far back as you can. Come back to your plank. Pull up and back to down dog. Walk your hands to your feet. We're in a folded position. Let's turn your heels outward so your toes aim more towards the center line. As you inhale, extend the back. As you exhale, keep the back in extension, pull the hips back. Oh, I feel like I'm going to topple. Don't. Just find that spot where you feel the weighting of your body, mostly to the heels, and walk your hands forward. Find length by extending through the back. Find length in the neck by pulling the back of the head towards the sky. It's almost like the bony part of the back of the head is the part that's being lifted. You're kind of pulling from that area. Now, walk the fingers forward just a tad more if you can. Kirsten wants to get out of this position, I can tell. Pull your hips back even more. Take a big breath in. On the exhale, sweep your hands to the sky as you stand up. Unfolding. There we are again. Hello. Let's bring the palms together and then bring hands over heart. Let's broaden for the chest as we keep hands over heart and then fold halfway down. You'll notice that the orientation of heels and toes have not changed for me. And if you've kind of like let toes go straight forward, today I'd like you to point them inward. It's really more of an activation of the medial or inner thigh muscles. I'm going to use them a little differently. Now, extend this, excuse me, extend the spine. Pull the back of the neck, back of the head in, so the neck muscles are more active. Pull the hips back so you give me more weighting. Now, I'm going to change some of the orientation of muscle use. We're going to feel hamstrings still, but a little more of those inner muscles, in particular near the pubis area, should be a little more fired up. Pull back, extend the hands forward as you pull the hips back. So we're going to add more emphasis by using a little bit of cantilever here. Pull back more with the hips. Try to give me as much weight to the heels as you can. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, we're going to unfold while the hands reach for the sky. Nice. Take a powerful inhale, and as you exhale, fold all the way forward. Extend to a flat back as you breathe in. Fold as you exhale. Walk your hands out to plank, up onto the toes. As the heels release from the earth, take a little look back at them and make sure they're aiming up at the sky. They're not angling out to one side or the other. Now, walk down onto your forearms. You'll notice how our body responds based upon our core activation. And if your hips are taking a lot of translation, so moving side to side, I want you to try to get a better grasp of that. It's calling being more core engaged. So while you work to keep the hips more stable, come back up onto your hands. Pull your hips up and back, down dog. Heels drive to the earth. Coccyx or tailbone pulls to the sky. Back of the head, pull it up. Get it up, man. Get it up, girl. Now come back to your plank. Control the hips. Come down onto your forearms. Take your left foot, raise it from the earth. Do the same with the right. And alternate. And if you're really creative today, do both at the same time. I know, it's not possible, but I made you smile. Now, both feet to the earth, forearms remaining down, pull your hips upward. Oh. Pull the back of your head towards the sky. Come back to your plank. Let the knees descend, gently touch your mat, and then take them back up off the mat. And then gently, slowly descend the knees, hang out for a second, and then lift. And then slowly down and slowly back up. And one more time down. And this time as you come up, manage your hips, come back to plank, pull up and back, down dog. High on the toes, heels drive to the earth, back of the head lifts as you step, right foot forward, frame it with your hands. Extend the spine. Pull the back of the head upwards. You should start to feel a weighting now developing in the muscles of the back of that right leg. I want to make sure that the right knee hasn't pushed forward of the toe box. quite the opposite. I'd like you to take the right knee, pull it behind the ankle. Back foot, the left foot, has the toes aiming forward with the heel pushing to the mat. Extend the spine nice and long. Flatten the back as best you can, and make sure your head isn't falling off your body. Pull the back of the head up. Now, keep pulling with the back of the head to the fingertips. Just lightly touch. You're going to feel a lot more work in that butt and hamstring. Let's keep it that way as you take the fingertips off the earth, intensifying some of those muscles in the work. Open the palms to face the earth and start raising the arms. So pull the arms long. We're not bent at the elbow. We're pulling the arms long with the fingertips. And then we're raising the hands towards the sky. We're opening through the chest. The chest is proud, and the back of the head is still doing its thing that I've only said 5,000 times today, 5,001. Now, keeping all of the lower body from the hips down to the feet in the spot that it's in right now, unhinge through the hips. Boom. Now, from the toes of the back foot and from the heel of the front foot, take the hips and push them up to the sky. So that front leg's gonna almost be straight now, as should be the back, right?
Are you still leaning forward?
We're still leaning forward, yeah. Take the hands forward, grab the grapefruit, push it together, fingertips and thumbs. Raise the hands to the sky. I know there's a lot of work in that right posterior chain of muscle and up and along the back. Make the arms long, not so much bent through the elbows. Make the arms long, release the breath, fold down slowly. You can use your hands to step your way down if the low back is a little more challenged. Now, bend the knee, let the knee go forward of the toes, best you can. You feel a nice opening through the gluteal and hamstring. Come back to where the knee's behind the ankle. Step the left foot forward. Step the right foot back. Knee to the ground, so the right knee is optional if you need it. We're all at different levels. And our body's ability to accept the responsibility of this exercise has to be governed by what's body appropriate every time we exercise. Now, as you work to pull the knee, left knee back at the left heel, drive the right heel to the earth. Extend the spine. This is the upper back, right from that, belly button area, all the way up towards the neck. Those spinal extensions, I want you to try to keep them active as we add in the back of the head. Pull it to the sky. Beautiful. Now, keeping the lower body in place. Try to elevate the upper body so the fingertips are just touching your mat. Just a little bit of distribution of weight management in the fingertips. Just loading up that posterior muscle or muscles, there's a number of them. Keeping the spine in extension, back of the head. Let's release the fingertips and then bring our hands, cupping the grapefruit, pushing the fingertips together. Beautiful. Now, start to unhinge the upper body. Bring the arms up, shoulder height. Take the lower body now, push it to the sky. I did this slightly different than the first time around, I know. Let's raise the arms to the sky. Keep pushing the hips higher and higher. Take a big inhale. Exhale, slowly fold down, step back. Plank pose. Up and back, down dog. Heels to the earth, tailbone to the sky. As you exhale, let the knees descend to your mat. Widen them out upon the mat. Keep your toes tucked under at the back. Pull your hips back and walk your hands out. It's called break time. Child's pose, extended. There's a folded in version of this where the arms go backwards and your feet lie flat to the earth. We're kind of working this actively to recover. So it's kind of active recovery. Keep the fingertips walking forward. Keep the tailbone pulling back. This is a nice opportunity for our thoracic or upper back to get a nice stretch as our shoulders have an opportunity to open. I'm told to be less clinical. Let's walk the hands back. We're on all fours. Now, flex the spine. That means pull the back a bit towards the sky, let your head fall. And then come back to a neutral spine. Walk the hands back to the body, come up onto the knees. We're going to bring the knees nice and wide. We're going to bring the hands out beside the body. We're going to have a slight departure of the arms away from the body. Kind of like an upside down Y or peace sign, depending on how you like it. Camera, it's up there. Now, you notice I have a small pull back of my hips. Most importantly, this upper back, I want you to focus on lengthening. Make your chest proud. So be proud of your chest day here in the United States. Now, sweep the arms forward. Imagine the grapefruit is caught between the hands as you engage the press of the fingertips and thumbs. Grow the spine, keep the chest proud. Take the shoulders, pull them up towards the ears, and then just simply pull them down and then try to make it wider across the chest. Raise the hands, fingertips remain. Now, if you bend through the elbow, try to keep extended. The elevation is what we're working on here. And it's simply to kind of find a nice release of those muscles of the back that often become problematic relative to the mobility of the shoulder. Let's release the hands down and back onto all fours. The toes tuck and knees still angling out. Come up onto the toes. Oh, sorry, off the knees and onto the toes. And then gently lower back down. That was just simply a way to give knees a little bit of a break. I'm going to come back up here. Oh, there's more. Kirsten's going. Now, hands rotate, palms, rotate to the back. Elevate the elbows up. Now, they're not going to go up shoulder height, but I want you to give me your best version of that. So the palms are aiming down. It's like a 90-degree or best version of that on your body. And then you're going to slowly rotate the palms facing the earth to palms facing forward. If you have the opportunity now, elevate the elbows shoulder height and then lower the palms, keeping the 90-degree in the shoulders. Try to rotate down past the horizontal version. So you're going less than horizontal. Take a breath. Make sure that head isn't pushing forward. Come all the way back up, elevating elbows, shoulder height, palms rotating back farther than back if you can. Give me farther. Now rotate through and down, and then up and back. Do that a couple more times. And then when you're ready, hands to the sky, palms turn to face, hands over heart. I'm looking in the mirror of myself, so that's why. Anyways, let's take your right foot, step it forward. Awesome. Now, if you can, with the left toes tucked under, try to raise the left knee up off the earth and then gently lower back down. Let's lean in, everybody. Hands over heart still. Now, raise the left knee, lower down. Raise, lower. It's just an inch or two. This is small activation. Up, down, hold down, switch legs. Just warming up some muscles we're going to be using. Hopefully you're enjoying this as much as Kirsten is. Right, Ann? All right, lean in, right knee up, slowly lower, raise, lower, raise, lower, raise, lower, and step it back. Right foot forward. Leaning in. Raise and elevate so the left heel pushes towards the earth and you have straightness in the right leg. We have a huge lean into this, not with thoracic collapse in it, with thoracic or upper body extension, right? The back is extending. Now, keeping the hips down, step the left foot forward to meet the right, and then step the left foot out. So it's like a lunge. Best you can. The deeper you're in this, the more you're going to get benefit from this exercise. Come back in, step back the foot, lower the knee slowly. Raise the knee, extend the leg straight, step that leg in, step it out, step it in, step it back, slowly lower. How many of these could do? 20, 30? One more. Okay, I agree. Raise up, step in, step out, step it back in, step it back, lower, and switch. Right knee elevates, right leg straightens. Upper body is leaning in. If your low back is feeling this too much, you can offset some of the effective work with hands-on thoughts. Now, keeping everything low. Step the right foot in, step it out. Step it in, step it back, gently lower. Try not to get upright, try to keep forward as best you can. Off the knee, leg straight, step it in, step it out, in and back. Lower the knee. Keep the forward lean. Up, in, out, in, back, down. Step the left foot back. Great job, everybody. Now, hands to the sky. Inhale, extend. Open the palms to face forward. Now, push your hips to the right. Pull your arms to the left. Come back up straight. Hips push left. Right arm pulls left arm, opposite direction. Beautiful. Come back. Hands down. Pull the knees wide. This time flip so the backs of your feet are on the mat. Walk your hands out as you pull your tailbone back. Extend the spine. We're going to keep this an active pose by working the extensors of the upper back. So you're looking down at the mat. Your head is off the mat. It's not touching it. As you come back up into all fours, take the left hand with the palm facing the sky, slide it under the right. Now, bend the right elbow, pull the right elbow back towards the body as the left hand pushes away from the body, giving the opportunity for the left shoulder to descend to the mat. Come back up. Switch to the opposite side. As you come back up, step both knees in together, tuck both sets of toes under. Let's bring the thighs into a state where they're actively squeezing together. As you pull the back of your head, there's again.
There it is again.
There it is again. Back of head, pull it to the sky. Now, slowly pull the knees up off the earth. Just hover them. Squeeze the thighs, hover the knees. Gently lower down. Watch my shoulders for 1 second. If we are pushing out of the shoulders, I'd like you to sink down into the shoulders so we have all of that muscle that supports the bone in the joint working. Now, squeeze the thighs, lift the knees. Lower the knees. Spine's extending, back of head's pulling up. Shoulders are not out of their joints. You've got them nice and secure. Lift the knees back up. Lower. Raise. Lower. Raise. Lower. Raise. Up and hold. Now, pull the hips to the sky. Keep those thighs squeezing together as you come into down dog. Beautiful. Walk your hands to your body. Bend both knees. Keep the thighs squeezing. Extend to a flat back. Start to unhinge through the hips. Keep the hips low. As you unfold, bring the hands forward. We're in a chair pose right now. Let's make the shoulders wide. Lower, raise. So it's a squeeze as you lower and raise. Come all the way up, squeeze. Come all the way back to seated, squeeze. All the way up, squeeze. All the way down, up, down, hold. Raise the arms, proud chest, neck long. Pull the back of the head, fold forward, butt to the sky. Hang out and breathe. Bend the knees, extend to a flat back. Lower the butt, sweep the arms to the sky. Whoops, sorry. Palms together, hands heart. Great job. Now, let's take the left foot, step it back, drop the left heel. Let's position the toes where we can get a nice rotation of that left hip to almost be square. So rotate the heel back far enough where we can get close to square in the front. Lean in. Front knee. Let's pull it back, the heel, as you lean in. Nice. Let's take that left hand, reach it towards the earth, and then hinge hip. So the knees aren't bending, the hip is just hinging. Fingertip to the earth. If you can, palm on the earth. It ain't happening today, Sean, that's fine. Palm on the shin if you can get there. Use some support if needed. Let's take the right hand, reach it out beside the body. Now, there's a lot of mobility in the shoulder joint, and moving that doesn't stretch what we want to stretch here. So I like you to pull the shoulder up with the arm going along for the ride. Now's the time for the arm. Lift the arm higher to the sky. And then release down. Step the back foot forward, reversing. Let's come up to start this. Squaring through the hips as best we can. Positioning back foot, of course. folding in, descending down, fingertips to the right side, touching the earth, palm to shin if you can, if needed, palm to earth if it's there. Left hand reaches out, shoulder time, rotate. Arm time, higher if you got it. On the breath, release. Step the back foot forward. Have a seat. Whew. How you doing? All right. Slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Hollow out the belly. Bring it down one at a time. Nice. Pull the knees up and into the chest. Circle. So let's just slowly circle as we open. Open in the lower portion of the circle, like pull out and then pull up and then circle back in. Let's do that again. Make it slow. Now focus on the muscle. Little mechanism that controls the muscle can register to the brain that it's okay to kind of let go. Make the stretch more effective. And then reverse that movement. There's a little capsule of fluid inside the hip, and you get to circulate it around a little bit. Of course, if there's no disease in those hip sockets. All right, pull the knees up and into the chest. Pull the forehead up to meet the knees. Relax the upper body back down as the back of the head rests upon your mat. Take the right leg over the left and then use the right leg to help facilitate the rotation, which is a lower trunk rotation towards the right. So you're using the right leg to pull right. Let the left foot descend upon the earth, but keep the left knee up off the earth. Take the left hand. Let's start by reaching straight back and then start to angle that hand about halfway between the top and bottom position, 45-degree angle. Without letting that left shoulder descend down to the earth, let's pull the arm long with the fingers and then let that pull kind of extend all the way along that left side body over the left hip. And then if you can, you're working to bring both simultaneously, both the left knee and the left shoulder towards the earth. You should feel a nice release over that side body. We're running out of time, so we're gonna abbreviate this stretch a little bit. Come back up center, switch. Very important, try to keep the knees as close together as possible. As you descend towards the left, the right foot contacts the earth, the right knee floats above, the right hand reaches directly back, and then away at a 45-degree angle. You use your breath. So without being too clinical, there's a little mechanism in our muscles that controls how the muscles react. It's too late not to be technical. So you can use breath to actually help facilitate release of the muscle by providing that calm surge, that message to that little mechanism. See if you can kind of tap into that as you work both knee and shoulder. On the next breath, let's bring it back up. Let's pull the knees in again and bring the forehead up to meet the knees again. And let's rock forward to back. And then up to a seated position. Oh,
We did it.
we did it. We've got it all together. Thank you all for joining. Let's bring our hands over heart. Let me thank you for your great effort today.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us.
Yeah, thank you for being with us.
Thanks, guys.
Hello, girlies.
Hi.
This is Susie Q.
Hello. Hello, Annie.
Hi, Linda. Hi, Sue.
Are you on a walkway, Anne? Looks like you're suspended in space.
There's it is sort of like a walkway upstairs. We have like a railing on both sides. So I'm upstairs. It's where I have like the biggest area to do this. Anyway, I see you've got some stairs behind you too. Are you at the cottage, Linda?
No,
Or
I'm
is that where you?
2 weeks and it's rained like stink every day.
That's
At the
all.
cottage or in Toronto?
Both.
Oh,
Oh,
bummer.
Yeah. Yeah.
where's Rick these days?
Hmm?
Good question. So he turns 65 tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
Rick.
maybe he'll be in Saskatchewan. I don't know.
Ricky?
He's definitely in Canada.
He's in Canada. I don't know. It's a mystery. No, he's on his motorcycle. So
I didn't know he had started off already, but I guess that makes sense if he's supposed to be here next week.
yeah, well, you would have had to see Karen's post. He was just like waving goodbye on his motorcycle. I was like, yeah, all wrapped in bubbles ish. So I guess he saw my dad. I don't know. So he's gonna, knowing him, he'd love to be like in the Rockies somewhere by himself on his birthday. So probably visiting friends. Who knows? Anyway, we'll track him. He needs a microchip.
Yeah.
Yes, we need to
Yeah.
put a microchip in rep.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Danger, danger, danger.
Exactly.
So that's it. I don't know. Find out tomorrow. I'll track him down tomorrow and keep you posted.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize. I had him for his 60th birthday up in Muskoka, but we'll
Well,
celebrate.
I think the last time he did that trip, he stopped off and stayed with us overnight in New Jersey.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
We'll tell him what you are and maybe you'll get him again.
Yes.
Never know.
Yeah,
He's a free
my
man.
my favorite Rick line was, you know, because he's coming up to stay with us for a week. He said, well, you know, I'm going to drive my motorcycle because, you know, I need to visit my dad. I'm like, your dad's in Victoria. Yeah. Most people would say that like it's an hour trip. You know, I need to visit my dad. No, you know, 3,000 miles away.
Miles, yeah.
Vroom, vroom. Yeah. It's all good. All good in the hood. All right, girlies. Well, that was lovely. Thank you.
Yes.
I figured out what it was. You sent it for Sunday, but it says Saturday. It
Yes.
says Saturday Koga, and then it says
Ah.
July 18th. But I figured it out.
Yes, 'cause we were actually there. So, hey.
Yes, great job.
Yes.
Thank you.
good job.
I know
Despite
you
my
did on
cryptic
purpose,
messaging,
Ted.
that was a great job.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
It was. Thank you.
And I need to get one of my left leg stronger. So it's helpful for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I've
good
had
to
a lot
be-
of muscle atrophy on my left side because of my hip replacement. So
How is that now? You're feeling more
it's
solid
great.
with
I
that?
can play tennis, playing better tennis than I probably ever have. So
Oh, good.
yeah, no, everything's great. It's just I'm not as strong on the left side.
Keep
We'll
doing
get you
physical
there.
therapy.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get you there. You just have to show up.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey,
Annie and I show up all
Karen
the time.
told me about that horrible accident on Lake Rosso.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
So sorry to
for
have
me,
heard that.
it's terrible because I know people in both boats.
Alexa,
Yeah.
level one.
Oh, no.
So sorry
Yeah,
about
so
that.
my friend Maureen, new friend, I met her playing tennis this year, and then we started to golf together. Was driving one boat and is now gone.
Oh,
And
Just
one of her daughter
devastating.
got trapped underneath the boat and has a broken collarbone. And her son's okay. This is two mothers driving in front of a marina at 7:30 at night when it's clear, and they hit. And the other one is my neighbor, Tom Blackmore, and he has 3 houses, and his son has one, and his daughter has the other. And I've known Tom for 40 years. Karen and Rick know him too. And it's his daughter, Jen, who is driving the other boat, and she is in ICU at Sunnybrook. with a medically induced coma, so they don't know with a head injury.
Wow,
They don't know how
that's devastating.
and her 13-year-old daughter is dead.
Terrible. Well, yeah,
So how I heard that Maureen's daughter said we just didn't see the boat. So I don't know if the bow, you start off and your bow comes up a little bit. I mean, I get it because I'm a relatively new boat driver, and I'm always going, wow, where'd that boat come from? Because they're crisscrossing everywhere. It's a lot of boat traffic on the
Yeah.
lake.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get it. Could have been.
Okay.
The lake is more problematic as a result of that. Here, like on intercoastal, it's basically up and down traffic, and the
Right.
lake, you can come from anywhere. So
Right, especially going into the marina because they're coming from it, and then there's 3 parts to the marina. So then Maureen was driving her daughter back to Parsons. She surprised her for a couple of days. So
Oh.
it was like, what?
nightmare.
That's awful.
Tom Blackmore is gutted. He can't even speak without crying. So he's
Yeah.
Sad,
Oh.
very sad.
yeah, it's an area where you go to and find enjoyment, and of course, it's been
Devastating.
devastating. That's just taken all of that away.
yeah.
And not only that, the injury and life loss and everything else too.
Oh yeah. No, it's crazy.
That's why I said to Karen, boy, Rick better be careful.
Yeah.
I don't know how she
It's-
does it. I would be awake every night. And I spoke to her a couple days ago. I'm like, how's he doing? Where is he? And she goes, I haven't heard from him in a couple of days.
Oh boy.
I'm like, I agree with Sue. We need
This
to
is
put a
a chip.
tracker
He
in him.
needs a
Yeah,
chip.
he needs a chip,
Need a chip.
Yeah.
Rick
needs
chip.
a chip. But again, with the motor, I think Rick's learned his lesson. I mean, he doesn't race anymore, and he goes in a straight line. So and I think he's cautious.
I still worry about him. You can fall asleep. I don't know. Anything can happen.
You can do it
Yeah.
in a car. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
it's life is.
Well, I
precious.
hope you all have a great time up in Muskoka.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I'm looking
Whatever
forward
parts
to
you're
it.
in.
The weather should be nicer than it has been for like the last month. So it looks like it's going to clear. So
That's good.
yeah, hopefully it'll
I
be
feel like
great.
when you have a big group of people and you have all this stuff planned, everything comes together and the sun will shine.
Oh yeah. No, it'll be great. We'll be out in the water every day, and
It's
it'll be-
awesome. Good food, good wine,
Yeah, exactly. There'll
a
be too
couple
much
of,
of
a
all of
couple of
that.
softball games.
Yeah, I don't have a TV, so we got to figure out
Oh, yeah.
Hotspot,
Computer.
baby, hotspot.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
No,
wait a minute.
I've got internet. I just don't have a TV. I mean,
Oh,
I have-
Rick, they'll figure it out. But the games, I just looked at the schedule
as long
that
as
we
it's
posted. There's a couple of night games, and then there's 3 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning, something. So
what is the schedule?
So I think
July
Karen-
21st is the first game, but you have to look, if you go to Facebook once in a while, you'll
No.
see the schedule.
yeah.
I don't go to Facebook once in a while. You know that about me.
Well, then you're gonna miss the softball games now, aren't you?
No, because you're gonna send me the schedule.
Oh, that's too funny.
Okay, I gotta go.
All right.
Nice
Happy
to
Sunday,
see
Sunday,
you
everyone. Thank you
all.
for joining.
Bye, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Linda.